Hello and welcome, and this video is a silver prediction video as we move into the 20s. And a lot of it will be based on how things are going to go, but yeah, I've drawn a line chart over what I think the next 1,000 days, but what I'd be hoping would be maybe 2,000 or so days would look like. And let's first look at where we are now via that of the monthly chart. For in here, we can see that we've been down to this 14 level, and we really haven't been above 20 for quite some time. Even before here, it was been a while since we've had these prices, and not much of it ever really has been. The volatility is historically it was pretty decent in the 70s, pretty big, and 2008, 9, 2011, 2012, there were some big volatile moments in the silver market, but I think those have got nothing compared to the volatility that I think is ahead. Now, how far ahead? Again, I hope it's a little ways away. But there's a thing behind the back of my mind that's saying we could be we could be closer than others would think, or I would be hoping for. Again, I'm hoping that over the next 3-4 years, that this market might be able to transition its way back to $30 to $50, but I don't think that is going to happen. And that would be doing it on normal or lower volatility. Let's look back and take a look at how price history used to look as I scroll back. And well, I'm not going to adjust the scale because the prices was above 20 at this point, and before we can see it lifted off from this level, and we spent more time within from 2014 to now just consolidating between 14 and $20 than it did from 2007 until leaving it in 2010. That was only 3 years. And then the amount of time before that it's spent, and the whole point that it's actually on that side. So if we push this auto, take a look at this as we go forward. Now here's a spot where not Bitcoin, yeah, we'll be talk a lot about that as well, but silver rather, had to move from like 4 up to like basically 50. That's over a 10x move. That is wild. But again, as I state, I think this is nothing compared to the potential that could be moving forward. Here's a dollar up to $40. Okay. So as far as big levels, well, the $50 level most certainly is a huge one. But once you get above that, it's, well, I'm going to draw out how I think it's going to look on the break of 50, because I think that's going to happen. I hope it's not too soon, but I kind of have a feeling it's going to happen within the next year or two. Maybe sooner than later, but we'll see. So next 770 days or so. So the $50 level would be somewhere around in here. So in a couple hundred days, I got it set to come up to 50, have a significant fall, like really fast. And I got a bunch of these large up and down moves. But I'm expecting those types of volatile movements to arise within the market. And I got the breakout of 50, the non-failed one, to occur in about a year from now. But again, I put a lot of failed moves on here. Of the likes, this one, getting above 50, then coming back to this. But this selling here, and then the big, I mean, here's a spot going from like well over 200 and back below 50. Losing more than 4 times, just huge volatility. I also couldn't help myself by putting a nice little major failed breakdown at this point. And I did a video yesterday talking about gold, and what I think a lot that's going to come in is the price manipulation, and silver's got a much larger track sheet, if you will. A smaller market, yet it's still a decent sized market overall, but very small, of course, for the player playing the game, another way of putting it. And this is how I have it set the day before this would be going on the blockchain. Just at this point, or however, I don't know how to say it, or I just know next evolutionary change and step for the market conditions. Because I do believe that you'll be trading gold, silver, stocks through that of the blockchain. And the point also in which, like, the Crimex, as it's been called, loses control of the market would be the day after this. So to say that I got things going pretty crazy moving forward after this, yeah. $1,000, yeah. Breaking that, way more than 1,000. I think this can go to. So as far as a break after here, this is again a little under 800, about 777 rows. Let's take a look at 1,000 of them. And yeah, that's how I made it. So the break would be, we're talking right here. This is where the last one ended. And I have two major panics to get in. And just wild moves. So I think almost in here, I think the picture speaks for itself and the type of events that I can get up to. But how crazy is it to talk about like $15,000-$20,000 an ounce silver? And maybe that is going way too crazy. But events like this, markets having prices way too high, way too low, and I am going, and I on what a major price move would be if there's a crash below 16 to 1 on the gold to silver ratio. And I got this chart, just going to quickly show it on as of via the spreadsheet. And in here you can see right around day number 800, well that's when this one gets extremely wild, that the changes on how this would work. But I think that 32 key level is going to come into play here as we're going to see how some few moves in here could come in and find support, and then like a big resistance area level. And at this stage here, this is with the ratio not even going to that one that has been stated before by the likes of the Webbot and Cliff5. That's an extreme prediction going to 1. 16 is more of a realistic extreme prediction, and that's because of the historic rates. And it wouldn't be a surprise if we have moves that would come in towards those sort of levels. So if this was to go to like a 1 to furthermore go to 1, it would just be, oh, $100,000 silver. Yeah, maybe possible. And I have to say no, but having a chart looking like this on the gold to silver ratio, which I think is also an important thing. Just moves of the likes where you have a fast decline, maybe something like, and the number here wouldn't even be that important, whether it be like 6, 16, 2, and then just a major move quickly up like that. And then in this case, I'd have it set to fail and then just be very, very volatile thereafter that. So if I take a look at this on, say just a row 777, what would the low be in here? We'll take a look at it. Like with a low of like say 20. Okay, let me just set it up to go to data range, and there we go. And change the scaling here. So moves like this is just coming up on the gold to silver ratio. You can see it a little bit clearly. So in here, what I got is numbers 290 up to like 410, having a huge move on the gold to silver ratio. That would, well, just within that. So this volatility is smaller compared to, of course, what would be coming afterwards. So showing rows 290 up to, well, 300 again on silver, or 290 to 400. So this move here, I have silver going from 40 to 230 and underperforming gold. Something of that type of event, like the starter play, if you will. I think wouldn't surprise me if silver goes up extreme and then gold goes up even more extreme. We'll see later on if something like that actually comes into play. But I put the gold video, the prediction in at gold going from like 2,000 to like over 20,000 in one huge flop. Again, working towards where a lot of this Crimex type of manipulation having its next story, its next big thing coming into play. And I think a lot of this is going to be tied within the Bitcoin and cryptos and basically working the funds together in whatever ways is the best way of putting it. So there you have it. This is crazy talk in a crazy world. And crazy times? Well, we'll see. But for me, I'll just keep trading the markets and accumulating the physical 999. I hope a move like this is not again in 1,000 days, but maybe 1,900 days or something even a little longer than that as well. Because that gives me the opportunity to accumulate as much as I can on this via that of cryptocurrency trading. But again, market will do what it will do. All I can do is just react to the situation and understand what's going on, and then what's the best play based on now, whichever that day happens to be, because the market conditions on January the 7th, 2020 and February 5th, 2022 are not going to be like they are today. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.